Have you ever sat down to make a video and you just didn't know what to say and you had a really hard time talking about your brand or your services, your products in a way that really grabbed people's attention? Well, in this video, we're going to talk about 5 key elements of a compelling brand story for your videos that'll help you put together killer videos that'll get people's attention and get them understanding how you make a difference in their lives. In the world of digital marketing, video has become an essential tool for brand storytelling, but creating a video that truly resonates with your audience isn't just about high production values or catchy jingles. It's about crafting a narrative that speaks to your viewers' needs and aspirations. Drawing inspiration from the Storybrand Framework by Donald Miller, we've identified 5 key elements that can transform your brand videos from forgettable to fantastic. Let's dive in and explore how you can make your audience the star of the show. Number 1, a clear hero. Hint, it's your customer. First things first, the brand isn't the hero of the story. I know this might feel a bit counterintuitive. After all, isn't the point of a brand video to showcase your company? Well, not exactly. Think about the last time you were captivated by a story. Chances are you were invested in the main character's journey, not the narrator's credentials. The same applies to your brand videos. As Donald Miller, creator of the Storybrand Framework, puts it, when we position our customers as the hero and ourselves as the guide, we will be recognized as a trusted resource to help them overcome their challenges. Your job is to make your customers feel like the protagonists of an epic tale. Show them facing challenges that your target audience can relate to. Paint a picture of their world, their struggles, their hopes. When your viewers see themselves reflected in your video, they are much more likely to keep watching and, more importantly, to see your brand as a potential ally in their own story. Remember, people don't buy products, they buy better versions of themselves. So how can you showcase the heroic potential in your customers? That's the question that should drive your video's narrative. Element number 2, a problem or challenge the hero faces. Every good story needs conflict, and your brand video is no exception. This is where you shine a spotlight on the problem your customer, our hero, is grappling with. But here's the trick, it's not just about highlighting the external problem. Sure, that's important, but what really hooks people is the internal struggle. It's the difference between I need a new car and I'm feeling embarrassed every time I pull up to a client meeting in my old clunker. As Seth Godin wisely noted, marketing is no longer about the stuff that you make, but about the stories you tell. The most compelling stories tap into emotions and internal conflicts. Let's say you're selling a productivity app. The external problem might be missed deadlines or chaotic schedules, but the internal problem, that's the frustration, the stress, the nagging feeling of always being one step behind. It's the fear of letting people down and not living up to your own potential. When you articulate both the external and internal challenges, you create a powerful nod-along effect. Your viewers should be thinking, yes, that's exactly how I feel. This not only builds a connection, but also positions your brand as the one that truly understands their struggles. Remember, the goal here isn't to be a Debbie Downer. You're not dwelling on problems just to be dramatic. You're setting the stage for your brand to enter as the guide, but we'll get to that in the next element. So, take a moment to really consider what keeps your customers up at night. What's the problem behind the problem? When you nail this in your video, you'll have your audience leaning in, eager to see how this challenge can be overcome. Element number 3, a guide. Your brand who understands the hero's struggle. Now that we've established our hero and their challenges, it's time for your brand to make its grand entrance. But remember, you're not swooping in with a cape and tights. You're more Obi-Wan Kenobi than Superman, the wise mentor who equips the hero for their journey. This is where you demonstrate 2 critical qualities, empathy and authority. Empathy shows that you truly understand what your customers are going through. It's not about pity, it's about connection. As Maya Angelou famously said, people forget what you said, people forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. In your video, this might look like acknowledging the frustrations your customers face, perhaps through a relatable scenario or a testimonial from someone who's been in their shoes. It's about saying, we get it. Authority, on the other hand, is about showcasing your expertise without bragging. It's the subtle art of demonstrating why you're qualified to help without drowning your audience in a sea of credentials. For instance, instead of rattling off a list of awards, you might show a brief behind-the-scenes glimpse of your team at work, or share a quick stat about how many customers you've helped. The key is to make it clear that you have the tools and the know-how to guide your hero to success. Remember, as the guide, your role is to illuminate the path, not to walk it for them. Your video should position your brand as a trusted ally, ready to provide the map and the compass, but ultimately empowering the hero to take the journey. By striking the right balance between empathy and authority, you create a powerful trust dynamic. Your audience should come away thinking, these people understand me and they know their stuff. I feel confident turning to them for help. Element number 4, stakes or consequences if the hero doesn't act. Now we're getting to the meaty part of our story. It's time to raise the stakes. This is where we answer the question, so what? Why should your audience care about solving their problem? What happens if they don't? This isn't about fear-mongering, it's about creating a sense of urgency and importance. Think of it like this. In The Lord of the Rings, what would happen if Frodo decided not to destroy the ring? The stakes were clear. The fate of Middle-earth hung in the balance. While your brand might not be saving the world from Sauron, the principle remains the same. For example, if you're selling a financial planning services, the stakes might be more than just you'll have less money. It could be missing out on a dream vacation, working well into retirement age, or not being able to help your kids through college. It's about painting a picture of what their life could look like if the problem goes unsolved. As Simon Sinek puts it, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. By clearly articulating the stakes, you're not just selling a product or service, you're selling a better future and the avoidance of a worse one. But here's the tricky part. You need to strike a balance. Go too far and you risk coming across as manipulative or fear-mongering. Not far enough and your audience might not feel compelled to act. In your video, this could look like a brief what-if scenario or perhaps a testimonial from someone who waited too long to address the problem. The key is to make it relatable and realistic. Remember, the goal isn't to scare your audience, but to motivate them. You're not pushing them off a cliff, you're showing them why it's worth to take the leap with your brand as the parachute. By clearly illustrating the stakes, you create a sense of momentum in your story. Your audience should be thinking, I need to do something about this, and soon. Element number 5, a vision of success if the hero does act. Now that we've shown the potential pitfalls, it's time to end on a high note. This is where you paint a picture of the promised land, a happy ending that awaits your hero. Remember, that's your customer, when they decide to take action. This isn't just about solving the initial problem, this is about transformation. It's the after photo, the happily ever after, the victory lap. As the famous adage goes, people don't buy drills, they buy holes in walls. Or better yet, they buy the satisfaction of hanging that family portrait just right. So your job here is to make that vision of success so vivid and so appealing that your audience can almost taste it. Let's say you're selling a fitness program. Don't just talk about losing weight, show someone confidently zipping up a dress they haven't worn in years, or playing energetically with their kids without getting winded. As Zig Ziglar wisely put it, you can have everything in life you want if you would just help other people get what they want. Your brand success story should be all about your customer's success story. In your video, this can be portrayed through before and after scenarios, customer testimonials, or even a day in the life sequence showing how much better life is with your product or service. The key is to make it aspirational, yet achievable. But here's the important part. This vision of success should align with your customer's deepest aspirations. It's not just about the external change, but the internal transformation. How will your customers feel? How will their life be different? Remember, you're not just selling a product or service, you're selling a better version of your customer's life. Your audience should come away thinking, that's the life I want, and this brand can help me get there. By ending your video on this high note, you leave your audience inspired and motivated. You've taken them on a journey from problem to solution, from challenge to triumph. And most importantly, you position your brand as a trusted guide that can help them write their own success story. Now that you're armed with these 5 powerful storytelling elements, it's time to put them into action. Start by revisiting your latest brand video or campaign idea. How can you incorporate these 5 elements to make your customer the hero of the story? Remember, great stories aren't just told, they're shared. So go ahead, spread the word, and let's revolutionize brand storytelling together. Your audience and your bottom line will thank you. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope this was helpful for you. Please like, subscribe, or follow depending on the platform you are on. We are gonna have more content coming to you that's gonna help you understand how to create amazing stories for your brand that gets your brand noticed, gets people engaged, and gets you more bottom line.